It's a feeling that's hard to describe, but I'm not kidding you. My heart will actually pound in my chest when I hear those people cheering for me like that.
Fast spinning, and you know it feels good. It just fuels you to make the next move, and you keep going bigger and bigger.
Sometimes you just pull your belts tighter one more time, and you look out there and you think, man, this is where you always wanted to be, so it's your time to shine, so go get it done.
Who's ready for Monster Truck Freestyle?
Freestyle runs full of destruction. Tension-filled head-to-head racing. Incredible displays of strength and power. For more than 25 years, monster trucks have captivated hardcore fans and curious onlookers alike. But these massive machines certainly didn't start out like their modern counterparts. Debuting as little more than intermission attractions, the sight of these awkward monsters slowly crushing cars whipped crowds into such a frenzy that monster trucks began to appear all over the country.
We just called it car crushing back then because there were no side-by-side racing. And you know, I can remember my first show I went to. I hit the cars. Back then, most people hit them lengthways. And I hit them lengthwise, and then I turned around and I come and hit them broadsided. And I got maybe 2 inches of air under my front tires. And I mean, that was just incredible now. I mean, I was going places with a monster truck. I mean, I was just the wild man, I guess.
To meet fan demand for these oversized beasts, the U.S. Hot Rod Association stepped in and began to support events centered around monster trucks. But the long-standing motorsports sanctioning body took these events a step further. Not only would they stage competitions with monsters as the main attractions, but they would also do what had never been done. Race them side by side and head to head.
And look at this, they're side by side. These are best friends and they're going at it tooth and toenail.
It's like taking an old Lionel train, trying to push it across there because it was all cast steel. Nowadays they make the ones that are plastic. You can toss them around. Same thing with monster trucks. Take an old heavy truck, it was hard to get it going, hard to get it stopped.
You know, the first person I ever remember doing a side-by-side racing for was you know, a promoter out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Dean Moore. And I think Dennis Anderson was at that race, you know, in his Gravedigger, and of course I was in the Carolina Crusher back then.
In less than a decade, monster trucks moved from intermission sideshow to main event spotlight.
Hi everyone, I'm Richard Leake. We're at the Cayuga County Fairgrounds. This is the front stretch of the Richmond International Raceway. Thousands of people are coming to the St. Paul Civic Center to watch the most powerful sport on earth.
But their most startling evolutionary step was just around the corner.
When we were just racing monster trucks, we'd gone into a phase of racing monster trucks from just doing exhibitions with them. I'd drag my stuff like 1,000 miles, break it the first run. My fans would be disappointed, so I'd go tell the promoters, hey, let me fix it and I'll get it fixed, and after everybody gets done racing, let me go out and put on a show for the people.
No object was off limits. No area was out of bounds. It was a monster truck free-for-all. A monster truck freestyle.
It used to be, it was called a novelty run, and that was by Dennis Anderson, the guy that kind of really started this freestyle.
When freestyle first started becoming popular, the trucks, we used to just run over 2 cars and break the windshields down in them. It was no big wheelies, no big jumps, and the trucks were very heavy. The trucks weren't near as fast as what we have now, so they didn't accelerate as good.
Everybody had to start participating in it because he was it, you know. When he would race, he had a freestyle, but he all over the place, you know.
one at a time, they would return to the track and turn it into a huge anything-goes playground.
We might have a set of cars on each side of the track, and, you know, 2 of us would be out there at the same time.
They would do 2 trucks. I hated that from the very beginning. Because if you're watching 2 trucks in an arena or a big stadium, and the bigger the track was, the worse it was, you couldn't keep your focus on what the trucks were doing. You know, one truck might be doing a big wheelie over here, and while you're watching him do a big wheelie, well, the truck on the other side that you didn't even watch crashed. Well, they want to see it roll over and crash, so it wasn't a good deal. I used to fight the promoter and say, don't put me on the track with anybody else. You got in the way of each other, and you had to back up and stop and wait on somebody so you could get to that obstacle. I didn't think it was cool, and it didn't work, and that's why we do what we do now.
Freestyle not only provided an exciting outlet for driver creativity, but it also solidified the relationship between participant and observer. Crowds began using hand signals to suggest the next freestyle move. And before long, runs were built not by the driver, but by the fans.
Those guys drive us into doing crazy maneuvers. No different they do when you go out and you're running a mall and you got a whole crowd of people. You want to go out there and see what's going on. These people, they're down there looking at us, watching us. They want to see us getting it on. And that's exactly what we do in freestyle. No holds barred monster truck action.
During a freestyle run, the fans get you so motivated. You know, when you got 60,000 people jumping up and down waiting to see you go. I mean, they took that night and they drugged their families out there. They spent money to come to the event. You know, that really turns your stomach and makes my stomach get excited, you know, make me want to do the best job I can so they can enjoy the show.
If you're satisfying the fans and you got them cheering for you, you're beating the competition.
Noting the crowd's enthusiastic reaction to freestyle, U.S. hot rod officials began to pass out scorecards and let chosen fans judge the competition.
Man, he really nailed it. And your score is fantastic. I got 12,384, and then there's 109, and then that switches around, becomes a 910. So it's about, you got about a 13,700.
A brand new championship was soon to follow, giving drivers not only a racing world title to chase, but a freestyle world title to compete for as well.
Monster truck racing and freestyle is whole. The man who brought it to where it is, the man who brings it to the next level.
Despite its humble beginnings, freestyle had experienced incredible growth in a very short amount of time. And now, with a world title hanging in the balance, each freestyle run pushes the envelope a little further. At each event, drivers find a way to fly higher, go faster, and be more creative, resulting in more excitement, more carnage, and more controlled chaos.
Whoa, over he goes. Oh my.
For years, New Orleans has enjoyed some of the finest monster truck lineups ever, as the Superdome Monster Jam regularly attracts the biggest and the best. But sometimes, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. In his previous trip to the Superdome, Dennis Anderson attracted some Louisiana bad luck as he suffered a terrible crash in freestyle and was forced out of the competition.
Actually, I charged it just a little too hard, didn't think I was going to get that much air. The truck arced over. I actually hit another little roller, and it was through a little rhythm section there. The front wheels hit the ground. I gassed on the motor really hard. It shoots the nose back up in the air. The truck kind of soars through the air and floats for a little bit, like it's going to pogo. Well, I knew I was running out of room, so I couldn't really drive out of it, so I was going to have to do what I call a dead fall. You know, it's like you can't save yourself. You have to let the truck kind of roll and just flop to a finish or whatever. And it turned over, and I saw some footage of it, and the footage doesn't look that bad. It was worse inside the truck. I flipped over and clipped the corner of a dumpster. It come through the roll cage, and it did bend the roll cage down and got jammed onto my shoulder, and it banged me on my head pretty good, so it kind of blacked me out there for a second.
1 year later, a refreshed Anderson returned, determined to conquer the past, and his competitors as well. But the rest of the field wasn't going to go easy on him. Monster Mutt and Maximum Destruction had already put up high scores with inspired freestyle runs, but Gravedigger was the last truck to go, And this time, Dennis would leave New Orleans a champion.
When they see Dennis Anderson, Gravedigger, on the floor, the crowd, they expect the best out of us. They know that we've always run hard. We run the truck on the ragged edge, and we also keep a steady flow going. The truck, we never want to back up with a digger truck. We always keep a forward momentum going. Sometimes in my freestyle, when I come out to the end of the track or end of a jump, I'll swing wide, slide the truck out, and what I'm doing is collecting myself back up, making sure everything's underneath the truck, you know, all my steering's working and all that stuff. And it also gives me a little split second to think about what I'm going to hit next, and I don't like to keep hitting the same thing over and over.
Incredible air from Gravedigger number 19 and Dennis Anderson.
The truck hit hard. It felt good inside the truck. But the impact of the truck hitting and bobbling once it hit the ground, it shut my master switch off. So I lost power. And when you lose power in the middle of a freestyle, you lose your momentum, and I don't like that.
Final 10 seconds. Oh my, what sick air from the Gravedigger.
Once I came out of my donut, I was going to keep going. I wanted to cross-thread the bus pile one more time, but the officials on the floor shut me off because of safety reasons or whatever.
Judges, let me see your scorecards. Judges, hold it up. 10, a 10, and a 10. Your champion, Dennis Anderson and the Gravedigger.
That run, it was pretty good. It was a smooth freestyle. It was kind of fast, high speed, and it was big flowing jumps. And I think it wouldn't have got exciting to me if I didn't start crossing the track up. When I say crossing the track, like cross-threading a pile of cars or the pyramid, instead of hitting them straight on like everybody else, I'll just come at it on an angle like a 45 and go up and gyro the truck over them. And it looks pretty crazy and looks rough, but honestly, those hits that I take like that are pretty good. I mean, the truck feels good. It takes them up good when the suspension's right. But it's that freestyle felt good to me. It was a good flow.
Criteria and rules for accurate scoring. Rules 1 through 4. Number 1. Hit as many obstacles as possible on the track. Number 2. Perform multiple tricks, continually using obstacles. 3. Save the truck by placing it on the edge of disaster without rolling over. Note: rollover should not be calculated into the score for points. Number 4. The higher they fly, the better the score.
Some people think, God, driving these things must be the biggest thrill, like a thrill you would go to an amusement park. It's not that way, honestly. When you're actually driving a truck, it's actually work inside there. Everything's really busy. It's not, I'm flying through the air. The thrill actually comes from being able to pull off the big jumps, knowing you probably should have dumped your truck 3 or 4 times while you're out there, but you were able to drive off, and then you start laughing about it. That's where the thrill comes out.
Ford Expedition, Jimmy Cretin, and the bounty hunter. Oh, yeah! Jimmy Cretin comes out of the gate, showing you the power of the Ford Expedition. Great start. Still lots of time. See what else he's going to do. Still a little, right around 50 seconds to go. Here he comes. Oh, yeah. He's riding that baby around on the tailgate tonight. Jimmy Cretin and the bounty hunter. The bounty hunter with about 30 seconds to go. Very impressive here as he comes over. Let's see what he's got here. The bounty hunter down to the final 10 seconds. The clock settling down. They'll let him make one more move. Jimmy Cretin. Time is up. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Jimmy Cretin and the bounty hunter.
The freestyle run in Phoenix I thought was flawless this year, 2004, back in February. It had sky wheelies, it had wheel stands, it had big jumps over school buses, bread trucks, donuts. I thought it was flawless.
When we're doing the racing part of a show during the night, we really don't tear up too much. The trucks are pretty well up to snuff to handle that part of the performance. They don't break a whole lot, they just need some maintenance. But during freestyle, it breaks them up, it tears them up. And a lot of times it's just a matter of how well your equipment is to be able to take you that high and that far in a contest like that. And you know, honestly, if your equipment doesn't show up that night, you're not gonna be able to do that well, so.
These trucks are really unique. You know, we got different chassis designs versus other chassis designs. It's what works best for ourselves. I run a coilover truck. These other guys run a nitrogen truck. They sit lower. They're a little bit more wobblier. They run a sway bar. They get twisted up. I don't have to do that. Hey, is that good or is that bad? No, it's just my preference.
For freestyle, tire pressure, we might hike it up a little bit, but you want, you know, I run 15 pounds. You want to keep it as high as you can so that you don't pull the tire off the wheel.
I'm Bruce Haney. I drive a truck called Bad News Travels Fast, and here's a fun fact for you. We're using something a little bit different in our shock technology. We're using a King 26-inch triple bypass shock with an air spring. What that allows us to do is we can slow our shock rate down in 3 different levels. So by the time it gets to the bottom of its travel, the velocity is traveling real slow, and it takes a lot of pressure off the driver in the driver's seat as far as spinal injuries go. Something new they've come out with, and it's something we're working with every week.
Neil Elliott at maximum destruction. Neil Elliott, the maximum destruction, 5-time world championship truck. Oh, some sick air from Neil Elliott and Mad Max. So look out. He saved it. He saved it. He saved it. What a save. The run continues. The run continues. Maximum destruction. Saved it right there. One hang time from Neil Elliott. 40 seconds left on the clock. Let's see where he heads this time. Neil Elliott, the maximum destruction. Give it up for Neil Elliott and maximum destruction!
Now that there's more women in the sport, if I'm at a show with them, I know my foot hits the pedal a lot harder. It really makes a difference when you're racing other women. I know we're all supposed to be friends, but it is different.
Out of Tonganoxie, Kansas, Dawn Cretin, the lady battling the boys tonight. Look at her go right after the bus. She has no fear. Dawn Cretin in a Scarlet Bandit Ford. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! She's still on all 4 wheels. They shut her down. If she can refire it, they'll let her keep going. Here she comes, Medusa. Skies it wheeling right up there, skies it again. Nice combination going back to back. Time for maybe one more move down to her final 7 seconds. Oh! Oh! Oh my! Oh! Look at her ride! Look at her ride!
Indianapolis is a city rich in motorsports history, and each year Monster Jam adds to that legacy. For over a decade, the RCA Dome has played host to the best the sport had to offer. But until a few years ago, they had never met anyone quite like Jim Cohen. The last time Mr. Excitement brought his special brand of enthusiasm to Indy, he emerged from a 10-truck field with a victory and a freestyle run that the fans would remember for a long time to come.
When you're sitting in the line, you're in the tunnel waiting to go for your turn at freestyle, I guess more the adrenaline, more the nervousness. That's probably one of the most nervous times, watching the other guy hit the obstacles. And you know most of the guys out there are just cracking off good jumps and doing some crazy stuff. and you're like, man, can I do that? Yeah, I gotta be able to do that. I've done that last show, you know? And you get kind of, just that 2 seconds before you go, you just have that butterflies in your stomach, and you're like, man, here we go, here we go. And then as soon as you throttle up and you're out there, that's gone. That's all out of the gate, and you're just hitting stuff and flowing with it. It's almost like you turn the stereo on and just mellow right out with the music and just hit the stuff and just have fun with it. You know, that's my theory, is if you're having fun, how can you not do a good job? When I come out for freestyle, if it's possible to hit something big right off the bat, I try to do that, because a lot of guys will come out and hit the racing lane and they'll circle around. I like to get the thing started off with a bang, and if I can do that, I'm gonna. When I'm getting ready for freestyle, I'll look at the track and I'll plan it out and get a thought in my head, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try start here and do this and do that. And then usually you throw that out the window once you start freestyling. Anytime you do, not necessarily even a big save, anytime you do a hit that feels real good, if it's picture perfect, nice sky, and you land perfect, and you know it was good, and you can hear the crowd cheer, and it just fuels you to make the next move, and you keep going bigger and bigger. I look at it as a big opportunity to be one of the last guys, because that's what people are remembering when they're leaving that venue, is the last bunch of guys that went, the highlight of the show. And the obstacles being mashed down don't slow me down none. It actually just enhances everything I got going. Indy. Oh, yeah, good year. I like it. I walked out of there with a plaque. I like any show. I walk out of there with a plaque. It was pretty awesome. Racing didn't go so well for me. I had some problems. But yeah, I turned it up for freestyle. Let me tell you what, and it kind of works that way for me. When the truck starts to give me trouble, and I get the bugs worked out, I take it out on the truck, because it's the truck's fault that it gave me trouble. So when I'm out there after something like that, you know I'm going to have a good freestyle, because my mind is just like, I'm going to punish that truck for being, for giving me trouble during racing and making me look bad. So I got out there, and man, I just had a blast. I don't know when the body came off of it, but the body came off partway through, and I just kept going. I had a good time. They brought a motorhome out there. And it was fresh for me, knowing it hit it up to that point. Man, it just worked out to be a great show. I just had nothing but a good time there.
Criteria and rules for accurate scoring. Rules 5 through 9. Number 5. Tricks. Number 6. Perform wheelies and sky wheelies. 7. Vehicle keeps moving and uses all 60 or 90 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the clock goes zeros.
Number 8. Vehicle performs as many tricks as possible in 90 seconds.
Still have.
Number 9. Hit obstacles in reverse.
starts it off with a nice wheelie as he walks her down. Oh yeah, another little slap wheelie on the other side. Guy Wood and the bulldozer. Look out, there goes the camper. Just exploded it, pulls it back down on 2 wheels. Coming to the bus. He's off to a great start, but he's trying to keep from going over on this tacky dirt. Oh! Through that Weekend Warrior whoop section. He's hitting everything in sight. Guy Wood and the bulldozer. Yeah, nice slap wheelie. Powers it out. Up on 2 wheels. Oh, looks like we've got a, well, it's not a broken axle. He broke one. Oh, yeah, it is. The front of the truck. He doesn't care if it's broke or not. Guy Wood, the bulldozer, the bar's hanging off of it. He has snapped that front bar, and he's still driving it. He has not quit. They're trying to get him to stop. He won't stop. Broken or not, he's still going. He's still flying around here. The truck is broke, and he just keeps on going. The clock says all zeros. What an incredible performance. Guy Wood, he's gone crazy. Give it up for Bulldozer! Wow! There's the scores, 9, 8, 9, for a total of 26, and he is the new leader, Guy Wood, and St. Louis's own Bulldozer!
Freestyle is chaos. Freestyle is being a superhero. Freestyle is going out there and showing your personality and doing anything that you want to do to get the approval of the fans. And that's what it's all about. It's about showing off.
Putting on a good show for the fans, it's doing a good job for the promoters, and picking up the pieces no matter what they are, and going to the next show and doing the same thing.
Freestyle is an opportunity to go out there and see what the truck can do. You know, we race a lot, and sometimes you just do a quick little bloop over cars. This is an opportunity to see if practice things too, you know, because we don't really practice outside of shows. So it's fun to learn new things.
When I get out on the track, I'd say about the first 10 seconds, there's no adrenaline. I'm riding, and then once I do some big jump and I've survived it and I feel really smooth about it, then I start romping and tapping on the throttle and get this rhythm going on. That's when my adrenaline's going. And your adrenaline can be broke, again, like I said, if your truck shuts off in the middle of the freestyle, then you have to start all over. But man, it's a crazy feeling.
Gravedigger 30 seconds into it. Dennis Anderson getting after it, trying to knock off the run of Tom Mintz. Oh, Lord Sick-Air. Wow. Gravedigger. Gravedigger skied it right there. Dennis Anderson, more than halfway through the run now. Still 35 seconds to go. He's looking for the big one. Riding it out. Yeah, baby. The engine shuts down. The engine is shut down. They will stop the clock, I believe. The engine is shut down. They'll stop the clock at 21 to see if he can refire. This is the standard policy. Yes, if he can refire, they will let him finish the run. Anderson down to the final 18 seconds. Gentlemen, give it up for Dennis Anderson and Gravedigger. Judges, we need those scores. The judges, a 9, 9, and an 8 for a total of 26.
When I'm saving the truck, I want to save it because I don't want that to be the best move. If it's right at the end and I know that I've spun the truck around somewhere, and usually if you're in the motion of getting ready to do a big move and they throw the red light on that your time is up, they give you a few seconds over. You know, they'll give you, 3 to 5 seconds, either or. And usually when I see that light come on, that I know that there's something crazy that I've done that I almost turned over on, I'll chance it and go out there and hit that thing again. And really when I'm getting ready, and when the truck is going to crash, I'm not really, at the moment, I'm not really thinking about tearing the truck up or, the damage or all the work it's going to take. All I'm worried about is winning the freestyle and winning the fans over, and turning the fans on, letting them get their money's worth.
Having a full minute and a half to freestyle may seem like a lot of time, but one false move and your run is over in an instant. After beginning with a bang, most of the freestyle runs in St. Louis ended quickly. Mechanical problems plagued Bad News, while Destroyer, Wild Hair, and King Crunch all rolled over before using up their allotted time. It seemed like whoever could stay on the track for the full minute and a half would win it all. Tom Mintz used every second of his run to push Maximum Destruction to the limit, earning him not only a victory, but the Freestyle of the Year award as well.
Freestyle is the coolest part of the night for everybody. The fans have been before, love to come back and see it again. It's a chance for each driver to take their truck out there and put it through its paces and see who the best show-off is. Fans love to watch it. It just keeps going on. And trucks go higher, further, and they just get crazier and crazier. It's a neat time for the fans. It's usually the end of the show, and it's really cool to end the show like that.
Guy would have pulled over. Here comes Maximum Destruction. Former winner of 2 Freestyle World titles, Tom Mintz, Maximum Destruction. The clock The time on the clock ticking. Here comes Vince. Oh! Absolutely.
I think if I can go out there, you know, if you have a 1.5-minute run, and if like the first half of your run goes really well, and you know, man, I already got them. I got them in my hand. Now I just got to put them in the bag and close the bag. That's a cool part for me, is when everything seems to be going right with the truck.
Kicks right back over. It's there for more. He's only used 30 seconds up so far. Hitting everything in sight. Tom Mintz, maximum destruction. Seconds, still plenty of time. Here he comes to the bus. Oh, wow, riding it out. Oh my gosh. He just destroyed it. Oh, what a save. What a save. What a save. Tom Mintz.
On Friday night before the St. Louis run, I actually walked the track for quite some time there, looking at different things I could do, and I saw that double hill there, and I thought, man, if I can make it to the end of the freestyle run, I'm gonna crash it right here.
Maximum destruction. Oh, look at this. And Dover sticks it, and he sticks the landing. Tom Mintz, maximum destruction. He's out of the truck. Give it up.
It's one of those runs where everything came together. I knew Dennis was following me in Gravedigger. I knew I had to do a really good job. I hadn't been there in like 3 years. That was really motivating my fire to do better, to show the people in St. Louis where I hadn't been there in a while. They were really billing the show as a Tom Mintz is back in St. Louis versus Dennis Anderson show, and I wanted to make sure that that show lived up to its billing.
Over the last 25 years, monster trucks have grown from sideshow attractions to main event superstars. And there can be no doubt that freestyle has played a big part in their rise. The envelope continues to be pushed, the bar continues to be raised, and the bond between drivers and fans continues to grow. The future of freestyle is unlimited, and you can be sure that this is only the beginning.